Hello. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are on to start our program for the evening. May I invite you to take your seats? All the participants, please get in and take your seats. Yeah, you can take any seat except those ones which are reserved. The judges may join the interveners or the partner states at the same table. The photo session taking place, mind of the time, we are already 1 hour late and we really need to start. Take any seat except the ones which are reserved. The two. Are you there? Are you there? Yeah, we are starting. The reserved tables, please. We invite our invited guests to those reserved seats. The representative of the Deputy Vice Chancellor of the University of Dar es Salaam, please, we invite you to just in front of me, the table which is reserved. We invite the program manager for GIZ border program, AU also to the same. We invite the Deputy Secretary General. Okay. Daniel. Ladies and gentlemen, may I call you to a ceremonious mood for this evening and start by recognizing our guests and everyone who is here. The chief guest, the Deputy Secretary General for Political Federation, the East Africa Community, the Program Manager for the GIZ border program at AU, Mr. Ese Abebe, and the Vice Chancellor of Dar es Salaam University, represented here by the Director for Internationalization and Convocation and Advancement, represented by none other than Dr. Tunululu Kaya, our partner states, representatives from Kenya, Burundi, Tanzania, Uganda, and those are the ones we have here. Our judges and you, the participants from the various universities from EAC participating in this 6 university students debate. All protocol observed. Ladies and gentlemen, you're all welcome this evening for this ceremonious occasion when we shall award all of you who participated in this event, but also those who excel, who showed more skills in the event of the debate. Ladies and gentlemen, without taking much of your time, in our program tonight, we have some entertainments, but also we have some presentations from our former youth ambassadors. Well, they're not yet formed because they haven't handed over, the current youth ambassadors, and they want to share with us their experience as youth ambassadors, but also what they are doing on the platform, the youth ambassadors platform. I hope this group of youth ambassadors are ready with their presentations, and in a moment we shall invite them to come and make their presentations. Shadrach, are you the one organizing? So we shall have this EAC Youth Ambassadors platform, how far we have come. That is what they want to present. That's going to be followed by shared experiences by the youth ambassadors on the agenda of the youth and the youth leadership. The EAC Youth Ambassadors Program or platform. Thereafter, we shall have short remarks by the judges representative, which will be followed by the awarding ceremony. We are going to award various groups, categories in this debating contest, and thereafter we shall have our dinner and possibly departure at our conveniences. May I know when the youth ambassadors are ready?
The first phase was supposed to be Joanna. Joanna is not here.
Oh.
Joanna, the current ambassador to Tanzania. That's the one.
That's David. Who else?
Joanna, yeah.
So in the event, what happens?
So we need to figure it.
So we can bring this one.
Yes.
Who's doing this?
So Ken can just come to do the first one.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's put our hands together to welcome Rose Kelly, the youth ambassador from Rwanda, to come and share with us the experience of the youth ambassadors, where they came from, their experiences, and how far they have come in this short presentation. Rose, you're welcome.
Good afternoon, everyone. Oh, good evening. Hope you guys are having a good evening here. and ready for a good dinner. So I'll share our experience and how far we've come. So as youth ambassadors, we have different tasks, which include sensitizations, attending different meetings, and all that. So as Team Rwanda, Uganda, Kenya, Burundi, and Tanzania, we managed to carry out sensitizations in different universities, and we managed to create different EAC clubs in those schools, and yeah, a good number of university students now know what EAC is all about. They know what EAC is all about, the pillars and all that. And so to the people that will be selected as ambassadors or deputy ambassadors, or people that will still be on the platform, because if you're not the ambassador, you'll obviously be on the platform as an ambassador. You get? So you all have to work together, that's one thing. You have to help the ambassadors to be selected. You shouldn't let them work alone, because they can't carry out sensitization activities all by their own, because these things are a big task. You have to go to the ministries to get speakers. You have to get to invite a lot of people. You need to invite university students, and it's very hard to get students to come and listen to you. So you'll have to help them. So some challenges that we had were that you could go to the ministry, it's hard for you to find the people there, or you go to a university and they don't have to give you the hall, or they keep postponing it and all that. But in all that, you don't have to be discouraged. You have to be strong and keep on, you get? And yeah, and please work with your ministries, because that's where it all goes. Because if you have the approval from the ministry, it will be easier for universities to let you carry out the sensitizations. But if you just go alone or anything, it will be hard for you guys. And the other thing is working together as a team. Let the other people also have tasks. Let them help you call people to come over for the meetings. Let them help you with arranging everything, because you can't do that all alone. And you should also work on a plan. You can't just think, we're going to carry out this thing and all that. But you people should have some time, sit down, talk about what you're going to do throughout, so that it can help you as a guideline, so that in the end of the time, you won't have things messed up. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's what I can tell you. Just work together and read a lot to have what to tell to the people. I know, because as debaters, you're readers and listeners and all that, and speakers. So if you read a lot, you'll have a lot to tell, and you'll obviously move EAC from one step to another. Thank you.
You want to take this session? Thank you very much, Rose, our ambassador from the Republic of Rwanda, on that short experience you have narrated to us. We know you have done more than that. You have had a lot of experience. Maybe you just needed to summarize it in that form. We have other experiences sharing from the youth ambassadors, but not the current ones, how they manage the youth ambassadors platform and how they engage the young people on the platform and so forth. And at this point, I would like to invite Patrida. Patrida is the second cohort of the ambassadors, the second group of ambassadors, and she was representing the Republic of Tanzania. What is the experience of the EAC Youth Ambassadors platform, and what are the activities, what are the challenges, what are the goods that you have had from there, and what would you have for the new ambassadors coming in?
Good evening, everyone. As Mr. David said, my name is Petrida Paul, and I've been part of the EAC Youth Ambassadors platform since 2014. Excited to have worked with amazing young people who were also youth ambassadors from the start in 2012, 2013. The experience that I say as being part of the Youth Ambassadors platform is that it's an opportunity that it's not supposed to be taken for granted. Yes, you are youth ambassadors, but you are a representative of the young people in your country. The EAC Secretariat has provided us with a platform to engage and represent, because we know it's an entity that brings together all partner states. This is something that we can take in as an opportunity to dive into it and really boost that EAC agenda forward. One of the main key experience that I engaged as being part of the EAC Youth Ambassadors platform is that you'll get mass intense trainings which mold you to the leader, the ideal leader that is needed in East Africa and Africa at large. It broadens your exposure to other entities, so you can be an EAC Youth Ambassador, but it does not lock you in within the boundaries of East Africa. There are other opportunities, such as engaging in regional dialogues, and also opportunities to be part of that whole steering committee informing the youth agenda, especially in the youth councils that are present and the ones which are still in formulation within our partner states. And one of the key take on that I would like everyone to take is to make sure you hold on to the EAC youth policy. So this is our guiding Bible as EAC youth ambassadors. It gives you the framework of how EAC youth ambassadors do interact with other young people. And I'll just welcome in Kamala to give in more highlights and experiences that he has gained and more exposure, because I don't want to take much time. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, by the way, I was serving in the one team with the Pechida in 2014 and 15. So, I speak on the experience. One, we have people with talent within East African community. Those who are doing music, can I see your hands? Musician. Oh, yeah. Those who are doing fashion. Because in East Africa, there is this what we call a Jama Festival. Yeah? It's a concert, like bring all young people with talents. They show their talents within East African community. So we had Gasparino Aure, who is a musician, and now there is the two songs which speaks about East African community. So if you know you have the talent, East African community is where you can just experience your talent, because we have the integration where people can move from Rwanda, Tanzania, Burundi, and Uganda, and you can sing your song. But also, we have the EALA, East Africa Legislative Assembly, and we are championing where to get more young people representative in the EALA. And currently, we have been able to get one youth representative from Rwanda. Rwanda, they have been able to accept our petition, and the youth themselves, they select one representative in the EARA. But we are calling upon for other countries to do so. So I think we have the opportunity, we as young people, to vie for the seats and get in the EARA as members of parliament and champion the East African community. Yeah, thanks.
Thank you, Patricia and Kamara. And I think we can provide this platform for also other ambassadors to say one or two words, the best moments and the worst moments as ambassadors, before we proceed to the next item on the program. Are there other ambassadors who are here? And where is the ambassador from? One of Uganda's left. Omar. And Shadrach from Burundi. What were the good moments and the bad moments as an ambassador from Burundi?
Good evening, everyone. I'm Shadrach Nizeyimana from Burundi. Have been serving as East African Community Youth Ambassador to Burundi since 2015. And it's been a good experience to network with young people, to engage them in the integration process, to make sure they are involved and they are contributing and taking part in the process so that they are not sidelined but more involved and more informed. My best moment was in 2016. After attending the 2015 debate in Kampala, we saw that we had some challenges about the debating skills after the debate, and we decided to start a local debate on East African community integration in Burundi, and we had it, and it was successful. We have been able to reach around 5,000 persons because we had it during a whole month, and then we used also media. It was broadcasted via the national radio station, national television, and it was also broadcasted through various public media houses. It was also published by newspapers, online newspapers, and we've been able to engage a lot of universities that time. At that time, we have been able to engage around more than 10 universities. And I think that is the best moment we had, and we are looking forward to having the second edition of the debate. And we would also love to encourage the next ambassadors to have this idea and implement it in their countries. It can help young people getting not only the debating skills, but getting to be regularly and constantly engaged in the integration process matters. And so that we can reach as many young people as we can. Also, in Burundi, as I'm talking about the local chapter, we have been able to engage young people from various universities, around 15 universities in the matters of integration, regional integration. We have been able to reach even countryside universities, despite other challenges to reach the whole country, but we have been able to reach around 5 universities countryside. We have been able to create EAC clubs around between 5 and 10 universities club to talk about the issues of the East African community integration process, and also to improve the language, which is English, which is used in this debate or in the East African community. As you may all know, that Burundi is primarily a French-speaking country. We've been able to work with media. We've been able to reach people via media, the people could not reach on the ground. We have been able to work with the state media, private media. We have been able to work with newspaper to make sure we are reaching even the young people in the rural areas, because sometimes these activities are happening in the capital cities, but we use media to reach also people in the remote areas. Also, we have been able to work with youth organizations. We have been able to work with some ministries. For example, the Ministry of Youth. We have been able to work with some institutions like telecom companies to fund our activities where the funds from the Secretariat were done. And I would also encourage these young people who would be shortly appointed to be creative, to be looking for ways, even when the Secretariat is not there, they can be working locally. They can be working locally, they can be creative and start new ideas and new initiatives to make sure that everyone or many young people are involved. Those are few moments, the best ones among a whole process and a very rich experience that you can have through this ambassadorship, the EAC. And I would like also to thank the East African community through its secretariat that had been able to engage us and help us engage with other young people. Thank you very much.
very much, Shadrach. Do we have the ambassador from Kenya, or they have also left? It's not here. About for Tanzania, David? David is also not here. Well, I'm sure Shadrach and Rose Kelly have represented them so well in sharing the experiences and the moments as youth ambassadors and the words of encouragement to the new ambassadors. I would like to take now this opportunity to invite the representative of the judges, Mr. Cheki Kamau. You'll speak in 3 capacities, I was told. One, as a representative of the judges. The moderator is not here. You may also speak for her and also speak for the partner states. You're welcome.
Thank you. Good evening. So our chief judge, our chief guests, the interveners that are here, the debaters, and my colleagues, good evening. Wani hamtaki kujibu. I want to recognize my fellow judges. I don't see Susan here, but we have Dr. Mapana. If you can just start and wave to the team. So thank you very much. Yeah, sometimes in an event like this, judges are not very popular, but I think they are very, I don't know whether to say unnecessary evil. And therefore tonight, I just want to give a general overview of what we saw as you debated for the last 2 days. But I want to begin with a light moment by saying that there are certain quotes that we learned from you and certain new words that we also learned from you. And I want to give a few of those light moments. One is somebody was chewing more than they can bite. We also learned something about the immigration crisis of 2013. I don't know whether you are aware about it, but I think one of the speakers really educated us about something that was called the immigration crisis of 2013. We also learned that we thought before that we only had an Agenda 2063, but we also learned there is Agenda 2016. I don't know whether you know about it. We also learned something very new about porous border management. I don't know whether you knew about it. A very new term that is called haggerness. I don't know whether you learned about it. The motion was about migrant smuggling, but we also learned something about migration smuggling. We also had one of the debaters appealing to his colleagues to give him a harmonious time. I don't know what that time is. Now, we also learned something about the summits, that our heads of states are attending summits day in and day out. I don't know when they are in their capitals, if they are attending summits day in, day out. Another very powerful quote, that you cannot make an omelette if you don't, without breaking an egg. That was good. And another one, that before you blame first, understand. And finally, one particular debater, I think he's used to making his speeches at night. And therefore, even when it is 10 in the morning, he would say, to address tonight's question, I have these submissions. I have not named anybody. So those were the light moments. Now, turning to the debate, a few highlights. And I want to begin by saying that this poster was here, and it was very deliberate. The theme of our engagement. And I think most of us did not make any reference to it. And therefore, I want to begin by talking about the challenges that were there in conceptualizing the motion. Because there are so many concepts in that theme. The question of border management, what is it? Something that is very broad. The question of migrant smuggling. The question of stability, corruption, socio-economic development, and the role of the youth. And then the motion we are saying as judges, it was there for the affirmative side to lose. Because I think it was so clear that this, what we are talking about, is a prerequisite. I think attempts were made to define what a prerequisite is. But for us, the greatest challenge was that we were not able to contextualize the motion within regional integration. And therefore, most of us, even as we debated, it is as if the concept of regional integration was far removed from the debate. And therefore, the first question we wanted you to address is, why do partner states come together? We wanted you to address what we have in Article 5 of the treaty establishing the East African Community, because it sets out the objectives of EAC. It sets out the pillars of integration. Now, the chief guest, when he addressed you, spoke very well about the vision and the mission of the community. And the vision and the mission of the community spell out what you are discussing for the last 2 days. We wanted you to refer to Article 124 that talks about peace and security in the region, the whole concept of stability, the whole concept of border management. You would get it in that article. We wanted you to refer to documents like the East African Common Market Protocol, the Protocol on Peace and Security, and all those documents. And therefore, without wasting a lot of time, these are the questions that we are waiting for answers from you. Is it possible for EAC to realize its objectives as set out in Article 5 of the treaty? Is it possible for the EAC to realize its vision and mission without effective border management? Because if you are able to answer the question, why are we in a regional integration initiative, then you address the concept of border management, which again did not come out. Is it possible for EAC to realize the provisions of the East African Common Market Protocol without effective border management? If we empower our youth, if we empower agricultural production, industrial development, where are we going to get the market for our products if it is not in the EAC? And I think we are integrating because EAC is a bigger market than our own national markets. And this reminds me that one of the debaters gave us very interesting statistics, that the population of EAC is 70 million people. I don't know what is the population of Kenya, should be about 40 million. If you add the population of the United Republic of Tanzania, you'll tell that EAC cannot be 70 million people. Are we together? Now, as I continue, I think I have brought out the questions that we were begging to get answers from you. Why do we integrate? We integrate so that we can have larger markets for our products. And therefore, it is imperative that our borders are managed more effectively and efficiently. We are looking at the rationale for this debate. And I think we are saying you made attempts to point at it, that our borders are porous. And if they are porous, how do we address that? By having an effective management of the borders. We are saying another rationale is that our borders are points of entry. And therefore, I think the interveners pointed it out, that when we are talking about borders, we're also talking about the maritime, the air borders, points of entry, land, air, and water. And it is through these points that we have trade, goods, services, capital coming in. It is through these places that we'll have terrorists coming in. And therefore, if they are not properly managed, then we cannot say that we have territorial integrity for any of our partner states. Now, we also wanted you to bring out the vulnerabilities to the youth when we don't manage our borders very well. proliferation of small arms, light weapons, smuggling, illicit trade, human trafficking, and the question of drugs. And then in addition to that, what initiatives are there to enhance our border management? The Common Market Protocol, the one-stop border posts. And when you talk about the one-stop border posts, don't just mention that they are there. But I wanted you to go further and tell us, since the inception of this one-stop border post, what impact is there in terms of management at the border? In terms of trade, easing of movement of goods and persons, what impact is there? We know that we have joint border committees. What is the impact of our protocol on peace and security? What about the Shigo Customs territory? And what about the multi-agency approach in border management that is offered by the OSBPs? As I close, we're also waiting to hear challenges. What are the gaps in our border management? We talked about NTBs, and I think some of us fought very hard to say that without effective border management, we can still eliminate our NTBs. And therefore, as judges, we thought we may be throwing this word NTBs, but we don't really know what it means. Non-tariff barriers that are imposed on goods that are moving from one country to the other. And therefore, it must have passed through the border. If we don't have effective border management, there is no way we are going to deal with NTBs. Because we have to be sure of the cargo that passes at the border. If we are not sure, then we are going to have countless roadblocks along the way. Then we also wanted you to bring out the role of the youth, because this was very critical. And most of us were not able to bring out the role of the youth. And I also don't want to do it. But what is the role of the youth in identifying the gaps that I have talked about? Now, as you debated, these are some of the gaps that we identified. One, inadequate research. Most of the research was Facebook research. I don't know whether it was Wikipedia research, but I think if we want to be serious debaters, we must engage in meaningful research. Then, especially for the affirmative, the speaker role. It is anticipated that there is going to be a seamless flow of information from the Secretary General, who sets the motion, the chair. You know, you need to understand from the treaty, what are the roles of the Secretary General? What is the role of the chairperson of the council? The council is the policy organ for the EAC. And therefore, we expected the chairperson to bring out policy issues. What is the role of the CTC? The council to the community. We expected him to bring out the legal frameworks of the issues that you are raising. That seamless flow was not there. In fact, we sympathized with one group. I don't want to say whether it was in the affirmative or in the alternative. But after doing a very good job, they had a very poor strategy. And therefore, the person that they assigned to give the final punch did all that person could do to demolish their arguments. And therefore, they lost miserably. And therefore, it means as a team leader, you must know the potentials and the weights of your people so that you position them at the right place. That is what leadership is all about. The other gap is most of us do not have effective listening skills. And therefore, before somebody has finished their submission, you're already speaking and saying, I have got you and I have your answer. What answer do you have? You've not even listened to the submission that I was making. And therefore, we need to earn the art of effective listening that calls for patience. Policy issues. When you bring out a policy, don't just mention that we have policy A, policy B. We also want to understand the status of implementation of that policy. And I said the role of the youth was not brought out. And we are asking, for instance, as you debated, does the EAC Youth Ambassadors platform, does it have any role to play as far as border management is concerned? Because we are joining that platform, but none of us talked about it. Then style of presentation, there are so many of us that were so combative instead of being diplomatic, that I can respond to you, but I don't have to fight you. I do it with decorum. I do it like a diplomat because we are making you ambassadors. Some people, if it were not for the moderator, would be talking about a different story. Now, teamwork. Because why you are a team, either affirmative or alternative, is for the judges to see whether you can work as a team. But there were no consultations for most of us. There were individual efforts. That even when one of your colleagues is cornered, the rest of us were not concerned. Unasema, wacha ajisaidie, ni juu yake. Of course, we expected a lot of creativity. We wanted people that are innovative, even in the way you present your ideas. And therefore, we think that nobody was boxed to the podium. But we realized of all the debaters, only one bold debater thought that she could get out of the box and engage with the rest of us. The rest of us, we decided to be boxed at the podium. Creativity, innovativeness, so that you can also engage the audience. Confidence. There are some of us who made sure they spoke, looking not at the audience, but I don't know what they were looking at. Now, as I close, I want to give a few recommendations from the judges. One, we realize, though we are calling you the EAC Youth Ambassadors platform, we need to enhance awareness on the EAC policies, programs, projects, and the integration as a whole. I am throwing this challenge to the Ambassadors platform. I have heard Dixon, you said, and Kerry, we have created EAC clubs. But from the debate, I think the levels of awareness about EAC are still wanting. And therefore, we recommend that we need to create more awareness. The EAC integration process, all levels of education. And therefore, we are saying there is need to strengthen the existing EAC clubs and establish them where they are not, all the way from secondary schools to the universities. We also need to inculcate a culture of national debates so that we don't just meet here for a one-time debate, but even back home in our countries, we need to inculcate that. And I think we can borrow a best practice from Uganda, because we realize their skills were not honed on this platform, but they must belong, I was told, I did my research, to the Uganda Debating Society. And therefore we encourage the other partner states, let us do something about those national debates. We also realize that there is need to address the disconnect between the EAC Youth Ambassadors platform and the EAC youth policy. We realize that most of us do not know the provisions of this policy. There is need to address that. The other one, there is need to cultivate a closer working relationship between the platform and the ministries of the African community. And therefore, those that are going to be appointed here, don't just work in isolation. There is need for you to cultivate a close working relationship with the MEACAs. And then we appeal to the Deputy Secretary General that there is need for the EAC to provide adequate resources to support the program so that we don't have breaks, let it be continuous. And therefore, we are hoping that in 2019, we are going to have another debate, but we need more resources for that. And with those few remarks, I submit. Thank you. Sorry, there was no rigging. The results are very credible, and therefore we're going to get the ambassadors that we deserve. Thank you.
And I think the judges have been wonderful. You can get that feeling from the comments and the remarks they've just presented, that they were not just there to give marks, but also to take into issues that later can feed back into the process and also help us in the future, both the debaters and the organizers of this debate. At a later moment, I think we shall call you back, Mr. Chege, to come and present to us who is supposed to be awarded. Because you are the authority there, we cannot claim to award somebody unless it is the authority from you. At this point, we proceed to the award itself and the reason why we are actually here this evening. And the award will take the following procedures. We shall have remarks from the university represented by Dr. Lulu Tunu, Representative Vice Chancellor. And of course, later she'll also present the awards to the debaters. We shall have a statement by the Deputy Secretary General. And of course, later he will also award some of the categories of the debaters. And then we shall have also remarks from the statement from Mr. Asayas Abebe from the African Union GIZ border program. And also later we'll have to hand over some of the awards and certificates. So on this note, may I invite Dr. Tunu to come and give a remark on behalf of the university and also later present the certificates. You're welcome, Doctor.
Good evening. Charles Njoroge, Deputy Secretary General, Political Federation, GIZ Program Manager, Border Program, staff, all staff who are here from the East African Community Headquarters, judges and moderators, East African Community Youth Ambassadors and debaters, distinguished youth leaders and participants from partner states, all resource persons who are here, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. I'm here on behalf of the Vice Chancellor of the University of Dar es Salaam, who is not around. He's on other official duties of equal importance, but his spirit is with us, and he had sent me to give a brief remark on his behalf. I believe you have had productive days of debate, discussion, and dialogue, and the speech by the representative of the judges was quite informative. Even to some of us who were not here, we could have a feeling of what was happening during the day. And I believe during these 3 days, you have had an opportunity to share among each other what you know through debate and discussion, but also to learn from each other as you are debating. And I believe the discussions in the dialogue you have had an opportunity to transform and shape your mindsets regarding the East African cooperation. And it is a good sign because the growth, the future and the growth of the East African cooperation lies within the youth. So programs like these gives hope and ensure the life and the sustainability of the East African community. So I believe that through this time, you have had a chance to have your mind transformed in the way you understand the vision and mission of the East African community, the roles of the East African community, but also the opportunities that lies within the East African community. And also, of course, to notice and see the challenges that are within this integration. And since this is embraced within the youth, we believe that in the future, the East African cooperation, integration, and associations will become even better and achieve the vision and mission that our former leaders had envisioned. And I also want to believe that through the days that you have been having the debates here, you've also obtained something that you will go home with to keep on digesting and working on, as some of you will be the ambassadors of East African community youth, but also some of you will have other leadership roles. So I believe things that you have taken as positive, you will continue looking at them as take-home assignments at which will improve you in your functioning, but also improve you in the further debates or such programs. For example, some of the questions the representative of the judge was addressing, preparing yourself better by raising awareness in the key concepts of East African community, so that when you have these programs, which have taken a lot of resources to be prepared, you make sure you do justice to those resources, but also you do justice to the platform that is set. So invest yourself in research and avoid, like he said, Wikipedia and Google, but also try to improve in the way you articulate so that you may really have debates which are transformative, as I believe they were envisioned. And as some of your representatives or ambassadors have said and shared their experiences, that through engaging in this East African Community Youth Forum, they have sharpened their leadership skills and also ability to communicate among the region. So in believing that all of these are some of the things that you have gained or gone through during these 3 days of debate, therefore, I would like to pay my profound respect to all of you participants for your patience and being here all through the days of the debates, but mostly for your enthusiastic participation in these debates. I hope and believe that what you have learned from this debate will lead and contribute to the stability and even more strengthening of the future of the East African integration. Kindly allow me also to acknowledge and appreciate our judges and moderators, and also the whole organizing team who have made a lot of efforts and contributions and have taken a lot of their time to prepare this useful event, which we have all benefited from. And finally, on behalf of the University of Dar es Salaam management, I would like to express our appreciation to the East African community for their trust to the University of Dar es Salaam and for selecting us to be the host of the 6th East African University Students Debate on Regional Integration. We believe this has been an opportunity to our students who have participated, and we believe in the near future they will also continue to seek to participate in such platforms and forums. And lastly, let me wish you a safe journey back home. And please send a lot of love from the University of Dar es Salaam. Karibuni sana. Asante.
Thank you very much, Dr. Lulu, for those remarks from the university and encouraging us to come back. We shall come back. People are saying they don't need sauna in Dar es Salaam, so it's better to be in Dar es Salaam. You don't pay for sauna, so that's the reason why we should always come back. May I take this time, therefore, to invite Ms. Abebe. Ms. Abebe, you make your remarks. Thereafter, we shall have the issuance of certificates and appointment of the ambassadors, and then the Deputy Secretary General will crown with his remark after the awards of the certificates and appointment of the ambassadors. You're welcome.
Make a speech. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. I was very much impressed in these 2 days, the way the debate was conducted. And I must say, even though I deal with borders, I must say I have learned a lot of new things, as the judge said. And I was also, some of the statistics or some of the statements I was not sure about. I went home and also checked. However, in general, we are, at the program, at GIZ African Union Border Program, we are happy to have sponsored this event. When EAC requested us as a sponsor, we were very glad to do it because the border issues used to be an issue which was not discussed. Borders were sensitive issues in Africa for a long time, until the head of states decided in 2008, 2007 to give focus to borders. Borders are, according to statistics, which can maybe be not 100% correct, but conflict issues in Africa, to 80% are because of borders. The borders are agreed in 1964 in Cairo. The African states decided to accept the borders drawn by the colonial masters. And however, most of African borders, namely about 70–75%, are not demarcated. And these are always cause for conflicts. And the border program deals with these issues. The border program mainly works in the first place on continental level with the AU, regional level with the regional organizations like EAC, and with member states. At the moment, the border program works with 22 member states. Tanzania is one of the 22. Coming to the debate, I agree with the judge, with the statement of the judge, who stated more research should have been done. When I was listening, sometimes how border management was defined, it could have been defined in a better manner, because there is not yet validated border management strategy of the continent, of the EU. It was supposed to be validated in November, but they postponed it to next year. And there one can see that border management is one of a major issue in this continent, which requires recognition and which requires agreement by the different states. The other issue, what I missed in the discussion, was also it is not only at the borders, it's not only people passing by. There is a community. I don't know about East Africa, but in West Africa, for example, 35% of the population lives on borders. That means border is also not an external thing, but it is also an internal thing where communities are involved daily with the issues the debaters have raised here. But in general, I must say it was a great 2 days. We learned a lot, and the young debaters are to be encouraged and to be given chances to develop more their skills and their knowledge. And I think on these issues, when it comes to borders, we are open to assist and to support, and also to contribute to the capacity building of students and the youth in this sector. Taking this opportunity, I would like to thank everybody, and with these remarks, I want to conclude. Thank you.
We request you to remain here because this is the moment we shall start now issuing the certificate. And I would like to invite the representative of the university and the vice chancellor to come up here. You will help us to issue the certificate to all the debaters who participated in this edition. I will request DSG Mr. Njoroge, I will delay you a little until at the point when we shall come to appoint the ambassadors, and there also issue the university with the certificate of recognition, and later sum it up with your statements before we go to the other programs. Can I have the certificate for all the participants in the debate? Is that the one you have? And I would like to invite the judge to come and tell us who deserve these certificates. Would like to alternate so that they come from this side, they come there, because you are supposed to issue it. Okay.
Shall we start?
Yeah, you hold right from the certificate or from this list?
From the certificate.
Yeah, from the certificate. Yeah. But are they in the order of the name?
Are they in this order?
Okay, let me now invite the judge to call the participants one at a time to come and shake hands with the program manager of the border programs at the GIZ-AU, and then shake hands and receive the certificate from the representative of the vice chancellor.
With Mercy Awino. Mercy Awino, is somebody picking it for her? She may have left. So Tabi Blair. So Henry from Uganda. Barry Mugisha. Is he here? Anita. Ivan Sebastian. Irina Mkude. It's okay because they want me to get them. Amani Esperance.
Thank you very much. Judge, you'll remain there for a while. But now we shall alternate the arrangement. Change positions. We would like to have Ms. Abebe to award the best team in this debate. And the judge will announce which team and the composition of that team.
Our best team was the alternative strategy team in the second session. This team comprised of Elias Ouma Odhiambo, Jean-Claude Mugisha, Michael Blair Ntabi, Kobo Faki Mafuda, and Ange Mutoni. You have the certificate? So just come for your certificates. Are they here? So, okay, so the certificates are not there. They can shake here. Okay, okay.
There, because you already have a certificate for to yourself, we just appreciate that you are the best team. Yeah, you can have a photo shot with the. Please take your seats. The best team. I will invite now Deputy Secretary General to join up here, and you'll help Mr. Bebe to award the best debater, and also you are going to award the university with a certificate recognition, and thereafter appoint the youth ambassadors.
Ladies and gentlemen, pay attention. Our best debater is none other than Henry Twinom Jr. Can we give a louder clap to him? So then after that, the ambassadors.
Now, the rest now we can handle.
Okay, it's okay.
Thank you very much, the judges and the judge representative. Now we would like to call on the organizers there, the certificate for the university. We would like to recognize the university for hosting this and all the courtesy and everything, and we. Is being received by the representative of the Vice Chancellor. That is in appreciation of accepting us here and giving us hospitality. On that note there, let us now invite the ambassadors. The report from the judges has given us the following as ambassadors to be appointed by the Deputy Secretary General. And we start from the Republic of Burundi. Where are you? Stand up and guess who is your ambassador? Burundi, Team Burundi. The ambassador from the Republic of Burundi is Christabella Mugisha. Isabella has left for Burundi because she had other urgent things to attend to, but she's deputized by Jean-Claude Mugisha. Next is Team Kenya. Where are they? Team Kenya, your proposed ambassador is Elias Uma Odiambo. Mr. Odiambo is deputized by Genebi. Muhammad Hainat. You can have a photo there, then we can. Okay, Team Rwanda. Where are you? Team Rwanda, you are proposed, not yet appointed, so it is proposed. Your proposed ambassador is, who can guess? Is Clemens Babazi. Ms. Clemens is deputized by Tony Migo. For a photo there, please have a photo shot there. Thank you very much, Team Rwanda. Team Tanzania, where are you? You are behind me. Team Tanzania, your proposed ambassador is, who is he from Tanzania? Team Tanzania? Not Patricia. Kombo Faki Mafunda. Miss Mafunda is deputized by Juma Emmanuel Erasi. Hello, would you like to take photograph with the deputy? Thank you very much, Team Tanzania. Last but not least, Team Uganda. Where are they? Where are the Team Uganda members? I know a number of them have left. Is there anybody still remaining behind? And so the proposed ambassador, youth ambassador for Uganda is, who could that be? Ivan Segawa. Ivan is deputized by Ms. Awino Masi. Awino Masi has also left, but I hope you have tweeted already to her that she's your ambassador. Thank you very much. Welcome. And next in our program now is we now like to invite the Deputy Secretary General and allow the other VIPs to take their seats so that you could make your remarks for the final session of this evening. And thereafter, we shall have the dinner. In the process, we shall have a vote of thanks from Madame Rosalind Karugi.
Can I use this? Good evening. Dr. Lulu Kaya, representing the Vice Chancellor, University of Dar es Salaam, GIZ Program Manager, African Union Border Program, Mr. Abebe, the youth ambassadors appointed, all of you young debaters and our distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, all protocol observed. I don't intend to make a very long speech because I know I'm standing between you and your dinner. However, let me once again say good evening. Welcome to the final part of our two-day debating event, the award ceremony. Let me say that you are all winners and you are all youth ambassadors as you go back to your respective campuses. For those who have been appointed ambassadors and deputy ambassadors, we will have to work together with others in the EAC Youth Ambassadors Platform in moving the EAC integration agenda, as well as the sensitization program of the ambassadors in your respective partner states. As EAC Youth Ambassadors, I call upon you to take this ambassadorship as a new opportunity and vehicle to advance your leadership skills. To the outgoing ambassadors, the EAC is proud of you and the work you have done so far, and I must say that you have executed your duties very well. As you hand over the mantle to your successors, we now expect you to work hand in hand with the new ambassadors and mentor them into their new roles. We ask you not to lose sight of your noble cause of EAC integration and our engagement with you. We will continue to be our youth ambassadors. Let me point out that the representative of the judges did say or pointed out a number of things. And I would like to say that you need to take those pointers positively and as a challenge, because you are being mentored to enter the world. He pointed out about listening, patience, doing research. It is important. And even as you sit here, even as you went through the debate for integration, there are also other attributes which you need to observe. And therefore, I kindly ask you to reflect on those pointers and be able to work on them positively. As we come to the close of this 6th EAC University Students' Debate on Regional Integration 2018, here at University of Dar es Salaam, allow me once again to applaud the participants of the 6th edition of the EAC University Debate. You are all winners, and congratulations again to all of you for a well job done. I commend the organizing team of this debate, the GIZ AU Budget Program, Border Program, the University of Dar es Salaam, the EAC Secretarial Staff. I also definitely recognize the participation of our partner states, the debaters, judges, the moderator, and the whole audience. Ladies and gentlemen, as we anxiously wait to see the new ambassadors taking now their duty back home, let me say that we have come to the end of this function with the 5 ambassadors and 5 deputy ambassadors. And you know that for the last 2 or so days, we have been able to have a very exciting debate, and we have seen the energy in which you have discussed and debated the issues on integration. You have humbly displayed your knowledge of the 4 pillars of the integration, and in a language those few remarks, ladies and gentlemen, just want to wish you safe journey to go back home, and hope that if this debate is held early in the year, I'll have the opportunity to come back. But this will be more or less my last debate, because my 2 opportunities coming in June next year. But we hope to see you within the Easter. And thank you for all this.
So can you turn to a neighbor and shake, ask him to give his or her hand. If is he, tell him that you are so handsome, and if she tell her that you are so beautiful. Now the game has started, yeah? Because people, they are wondering, trembling, who is going to be the ambassador. So now we have the ambassador. Amen? Yeah. So now I would like to take the opportunity for the appointed new ambassadors to come forward. Ambassadors. Yeah. Oh, you are still celebrating. Please, if you know your ambassador, please come forward here. And we are going to have the photo with the... Hey. Mheshimiwa. Yeah. So, faster, they combo, from you are only 3. Okay. Yeah. Mheshimiwa, tafadhali sana. Gender is not, is balanced, yeah? Yeah, okay. So the deputy, no. We need first the ambassador, yeah. So deputy, prepare yourself, yeah? Munachangamka mnakuja hapa mbio mbio sio kidogo, yeah? Haya. For record, the other day when you vie for president, you say I was ambassador, and this is the improvement. This is a picture. You know? Yeah. Thanks. So you remain, yeah? The deputy ambassador, just remain. Deputy ambassadors. Deputy ambassadors. Hey. Chop, chop. Now you can come this side. Yeah? It's okay. Do they look smart, or we are just misplaced the plane on the land? Eh? Do they look smart? Will they serve us? Eh? Or they will be serving themselves with their stomach? You are done with the photo session? Okay, thank you. So now it's time for thank you. Yeah. Yeah, we are done. Thank you. So the high table, they are going to take food. And now, how are you? How many of you are ready for muziki? Those want to dance? How many of you? Oh, we have few people, so we can postpone the music, yeah? How many of you want to dance? Say yeah! Oh, yeah, I can feel the vibe in the house this evening, yeah? So now I want to welcome Mama, Miss Lozrin Kagaruki. She's going to give us vote of thanks, yeah? Makofi na vigeregere tafadhali kwake.
Thank you. It's off. I think it's off. It's off. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I think before I give my vote of thanks, which is important, I would like us to pray for the food. Those who are serving, it's good. Let us just humble ourselves. Heavenly Father, we thank you for the food that is in front of us. We ask you to bless us and bless the food that we're about to eat. In your holy name we pray. Amen. Okay. So now mine here is to give a vote of thanks. Guest of honor present, youth ambassadors platform, and the youth ambassadors alumni, ladies and gentlemen, all debaters and local participants, ladies and gentlemen, It gives me great honor to give a vote of thanks at this closing of the 6th EAC University Students' Debate. Allow me first to thank the Almighty God for bringing us together this evening and through all these 3 days for the debate and the preparation. I would like to also thank the federal government of Germany through the GIZ AUBP border program, who generously sponsored the 6th EAC University Students' Debate. GIZ has always been frontline in the EAC integration agenda, and by sponsoring the event, it proves that they are looking at a bigger picture, which involves the youth. GIZ, tunashukuru, asante sana. Thank you also goes to our host, the University of Dar es Salaam. Each year, as you know, the students' debate is held in partner states, and we usually have it at university. And we are really honored this year to have it at the university in Tanzania, Dar es Salaam, and at the University of Dar es Salaam. Vice Chancellor, through Dr. Lulu, thank you very much, and your team. Without forgetting Daniel, thank you very much. Also, we are to thank the organizing team from the EAC Youth Ambassadors Platform. The organizing has, your organizing have done so well, and it shows itself. You see the turnout. This really shows that, proves the saying that once an ambassador, always an ambassador. So thank you very much. We have seen that. Thank you also to all who participated as debaters and to the local participants. What we saw throughout the debate was really good teamwork, and we would want to applaud you all. You really made the debate very hot and gave the judges a difficult time. Thank you very much. For the local participants, we also thank you. The turnout was good. I would also like to thank the judges, the moderator, timekeeper, rapporteur. All of you have worked continuously and tirelessly throughout these 3 days, making the debate run smoothly. I salute you all. Thank you very much. Last but not least, thank you to the EAC and the GIZ team, both from Arusha and from Dar, with whom, without them, we would not have been here. Those who worked hard to make sure that our travels, our stay, our well-being here in Dar is properly taken care of. The whole organizing has gone very smoothly, and I can say that the 6th EAC University debate has been the best so far. To all of you, thank you very much.
So when the judges were speaking, I didn't see any ambassador writing down. I think this generation is computer generation. When you say anything, they record in their mind, yeah? But we hope, we as fellow young people, we hope that you are going to deliver and you are going to take in mind the judges that have insisted, yeah? Ambassadors, where are you? They are gone. I think we are going to have the best team of youth ambassadors. They're computerized. That whatever they speak, they just get into mind. So after the food, we are going to have the music, yeah? And after the music, we are just going where? To sleep. By the way, munaweza mkampigia makofi Madam Barbara. She's behind, always working, but she's doing great job. Makofi kwake tafadhali. And you still have journey to work with her, eh? Sasa kama umpendi, kama unampenda, it's up to you, but she will be there, and she will be there, and there, and there. So it's better you love her. Because otherwise you are just going to suffer from pressure. So guys, you can just go to have food, yeah? Okay? Tables by tables, you just go and have food. DJ, we can have the soft music.